I first met Ruth a few months ago.
Wanker. Shout wanker.
So...
Shout wanker. Concentrate.
I've been called some things in my time, but this was something else. But I knew it wasn't personal.
Hello!
Ruth has Tourettes syndrome, a neurological condition that makes her say and do involuntary things.
Shit stick.
For a while, Ruth's Tourettes took over her life. Smashed her confidence and stamped on her musical ambitions.
Oh.
But that's all changing now. And I was lucky enough to hang out with Ruth as she attempted to take control and get her singing career back on track. It's early in the morning and Ruth is heading out for the day.
Petrol bomb. Condoms. Syphilis. Gonorrhea. Chlamydia. Cat AIDS. Cat AIDS. Cat AIDS. Gobby shot.
Travelling is everyday stuff for the most of us, but with Ruth, nothing is mundane.
I know I have the possibility to say anything, or to make any movement, or to make any gesture. I am, and will always be, a ticker. I finally come to terms with it. Whether or not I deal with it on a day-to-day basis very well, it's different. It's different. That's cool. I think that's another thing. It's okay to have days where I'm just like, I can't deal with this, it's okay. But yeah, I come to terms with it.
Wankers. That's another issue. And there's not enough time to turn back and say, hello.
There's no cure for Tourette's. Over 300,000 people in the UK have it in some form or another. But only 10% of those are like Ruth, where their Tourette's sometimes compels them to swear and act inappropriately.
I go like that, as in to say thank you, but then I end up going like that as well. And I think maybe that's why sometimes they come faster, which isn't cool because I don't walk very fast. Dodgy trolley time. Conquered. Oh my God! Crankles. Whoa.
Hanging around with Ruth, I find that even though she's aware of what she's doing, it's obvious to me that it's very difficult for her to control her Tourette's.
Very merry as a fairy. Oh well. I do very much look after myself. Nuts. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. 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 I think there are some nuts over there. Bomb. Mouth. Get weird looks, funny looks, comments. Sometimes it's positive. But you always evoke a reaction. Always.
Even simple tasks are, well, a bit different with Ruth. And you can never be sure of how people will react.
Hot winkers. Why? You think so? You think this is singing? It's Tourette's syndrome. It's a neurological condition which causes involuntary sounds and movements, so that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fun look at.
Other than that, you're fine.
Yeah. Have you heard of the syndrome before? No.
Yes, I have.
Oh
Yes,
really?
I have. Yes, I have.
Yeah. But you didn't recognise it straight off, did you?
No idea.
No, because it's so different from person to person.
That's good.
Yeah. You will sleep well tonight. Wicked.
Whatever.
Conkers. Wankers. Parties. Ching, ching, jihad, jihad.
No race, no denomination, no gender, no sexuality, no religion is safe when I come out.
Chocolate.
I am not a racist. I am a Tourettist, but I'm not a racist.
Jesus was a nigger, honestly. I would like to think that the more I put myself out there, the more that, sure. I don't know about people knowing Tourette's, but people knowing my Tourette's and getting less stares and generally life being easier. That's the hope. Oh, Jesus, let me be fat. Hello. Yeah, I can also tick laugh. Do them all.
As well as mimicking people she hears, Ruth also imitates the noises around her. And sometimes she blurts things out that she really doesn't want you to know.
9, 8, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 9, 8, 7, 8, 5. 8. 9. 5. Enter.
5 years ago, at the age of 20, Ruth headed off to Middlesex University to study music. A promising singing career lay ahead. This is the first time she's been back.
I was in my second year when I got diagnosed. It was weird because I think my tics were starting to surface, I would say. I was suppressing them, but it wasn't as obvious. And I remember sometimes running out of lectures and having like panic attacks and stuff because I felt like I didn't know what was going on with me either. My sister had kind of mentioned a couple of times maybe I had Tourette's because she'd seen Pete from Big Brother, but I just didn't equate that to myself. And everyone who I'd seen as well, and from like the books and things like that and internet and stuff, always seemed to be white, European, so I just thought, no, it's not me.
Bus wankers.
I realised I could see people sort of like often looking at me.
Bus wankers.
And I know that it wasn't just like looking at me, it was like looking at me like at certain parts of my face moving a bit too much, or maybe my hands. And then, sort of like noises like that, monosyllabic noises, which almost could be, you know, construed as just sort of like letting out air. But they were a bit more than that, so I got looks at for that, which is understandable. I just didn't go out really, and sometimes wouldn't wake up and just would sleep, and I just had no energy. I couldn't be asked, and I didn't want to face having to deal with other people's reactions to it. It was like I had a bad enough time trying to get it myself and understand it, and was perplexed by it, and yet I was meant to answer every single question about it when I didn't even understand a lot about it. I was embarrassed by it, to be honest.
Whoa! Oh, going to school, it's so cool.
You're behind, you're tired, your tics are still manifesting themselves as well. I think people just took it as being as skiving and being lazy.
Ruth's Tourette's became unmanageable. Her blinking and facial tics in private became swearing and screaming in lectures. In 2008, Ruth had to quit university, giving up all ideas of a career in music.
You miss lectures, you don't hand in work, all sorts of excuses. I'm very good if I want to hide something, I'm very good. Didn't want to talk to anyone about it because how were they going to help me? They didn't have Tourette's. That's how I saw it, so black and white.
This is the first time in 3 years she's been back in her university music room. And I really want to hear her play.
I'm rubbish now, honestly.
Give it a try.
No, I'm rubbish.
Give it a try.
No.
Just try it, just, you know, just a little tinkle on there. See if you can remember anything.
You put me on the spot here now.